The swarm meta in Rise of Kingdoms, guys, it is off the charts, okay? It's out of control. It is so potent. Now, with all the commanders and all the gear and all the armaments and all the fun things and the power creeps and the fun things and the fun things and the power creeps and everything, it is so hard to defend flags in Kingsland of Rise of Kingdoms. You like literally can't do it. You're going to get hella swarmed. And people are just running the rallies to tank the garrison and everybody else go pummel it. This is going to be the video that's going to talk about this. It's going to talk about all the garrisons that get wrecked by the swarm and then the one garrison that actually works. And then it's going to talk about my swarming marches and what I use, because I've got some pretty potent swarming marches as well. And they did exceptionally well in this KVK. And we'll go through all those and how they traded, because you can trade 2 to 1. Easy. You just got to have the right commanders and, of course, pretty good gear. But anybody can do it with at least one march. So stick around while we go through the swarm meta in April of 2026. Hey everybody, I'm your boy War Daddy Chatsky. I do videos for Rise of Kingdoms all the time. And if you enjoy these videos and get a little something out of it, throw that like up there. Help us out. Helps out the video, helps out the channel. And speaking of the channel, if you're not subscribed, consider doing so. I have 71K subscribers there. Oop, there's that bell. You can hit the bell if you want to get alerts when I put out content like this. And my graphic says 71K, but I'm close to 80,000. Like, we're cooking, baby. This is going to be the video on the storm meta. But before we get into it, let's give away our $10 Flux winner for the months of April and May. Every video I do, I'm giving away $10 Flux. It's our video giveaways. And too nice. This is about the video that I recently did. It's the last one I did. It was about the KVK, the massive KVK we just fought, which I'll reference in this video. But Too Nice said it's amazing how different Imperium kingdoms are compared to CCs. Okay, it was fun watching you guys, and I'm glad I'm where I'm at and can just go watch you go wild. And so from that standpoint, thank you to Too Nice. Wins the $10 Flux. Congratulations, buddy. And if you want to enter to win the $10 Flux that's going to be given away next video, all you got to do is comment. That's all you got to do. All you got to do is comment on the video and you're automatically entered to win, and that's where we're at. Okay, so let's pull this down. Let's get this thing down. Let's pull down this thing. Like we're going through all the different things. Okay, profile. There we go. So we're talking about the swarm meta, and guys, we were in Kingsland for like 5 days doing nothing but defending. Like, I ran so many garrisons. I've got calluses on my index finger on my mouse. Click, 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 click. Going crazy. Click, click. Break me up. Me and Peace, and then you can see it in my previous video, me and Peace ran these garrisons like nuts, like crazy. And it's just massive swarms all the time, and it is so hard to deal with, okay? And so when we were in this KVK, we're dealing with all this, and it is such a pain. And I was like, I need to come up with a swarm meta guide, okay? Or just to talk about this, because this is where we're at in this. Guys, we would defend a flag that was being heavily swarmed for 30 straight minutes. 30 minutes. And that's how crazy it is, okay? So let's talk about the garrisons real quick, because you get cooked pretty good. But it's okay, because we're going to talk about this. First of all, guys, this is the problem we've got right now with the infantry garrison, all right? In the infantry garrison, all right, where's our girl? Where's Gorgo? There she is, okay? She's still amazing. She's still amazing. Still gives you a lot of normal damage, which helps against the swarms, but she needs help, okay? Back when she first came out, we just had her and Hera had just come out into the game, so he was powerful enough, but now he has fallen off. Now, as far as Gorgo goes, she has stayed in the meta, and she's still good, but not near as potent. So against the swarms, you can't run Hera. Like, it's just, you can run it. It's the best you can do, but you're just going to get absolutely destroyed by the rallies. Like, destroyed by rallies. You put Hera in a garrison, I don't care if he's primary in a leadership garrison, or he's sitting behind Gorgo, or he's sitting behind David or CY, he is going to get destroyed against the rallies. He does better against the swarms because he's got a lot of these different anti-swarm things that he does, and he shields, and that's fine. But Gorgo, the other options you have with Gorgo, obviously, are Hector which are great against the rally, all right? He's going to do much more damage from Gorgo against the rally, but there's not enough anti-swarm here. It's going to get destroyed by the swarms, and you can't keep it full. Hector at least gives you a chance because you can run different troop types because he's a leadership garrison. You can put infantry, cavs, archers, siege, it doesn't matter. You put anything in there, all right? And that helps. Or you can run Tokugawa, and this is what swarmers would love. Anytime we saw a Gorgo Toku, we would just destroy it with the swarms, just wreck it. Now, it's going to do fine against the rally, but it doesn't matter. Rally's just got to tank it. And so the infantry is in a bad place right now when it comes to the meta swarms of 2026. All right. It's really, really hard to defend. Our infantry, we got the best infantry garrisons in the game, guys. We've got dudes like Maximus, who's got some of the best stuff in the game. We got dudes like Murph, who's got crazy good stuff. I mean, these are dudes that are like off the charts in the game. Where's Max? I don't even know where his account is. But they were getting destroyed. And it was like, what do we do? Well, let's try archers. So we started running. All right, we got the best archer players, some of the best in the game. And we were trying archers. We would run archers with our boy CY. All right, and he would heal, and he would actually do better against the swarms, but rallies were, you go put a CY in a garrison, and you go run our boy Attila against this guy, and he's going to eat this dude. Anything with archers right now, Attila Subutai is going to eat this guy. All right, and so you put Hera behind him, it's going to get just destroyed by the rallies, and even though it does good against the swarms, you're still getting just absolutely pummeled. We put Dido behind him. Okay, that does better against the rallies, but now the swarms start getting you if you put Dido behind him. We were even trying Ragnar. Ragnar's got some museum buffs that are kind of crazy with the normal damage mitigation that he does and 35% troop defense. And it's kind of gimmicky, but not really great. Not against great rallies. It's going to get pummeled. And against swarms, it's okay, but not necessarily amazing. All right, so we really need something else to help us because archers got destroyed. Infantry got destroyed. What does that leave for us, guys? You can check out my last video, but it leaves us with this homeboy right here. This is your only option against swarms. Attila. Like it or not, I've been saying it now for a few months since David came into the game. Since this dude came into the game, I said, you put him behind Attila, it's the perfect garrison. And what I mean by perfect is that it is going to kick out enough damage with Attila's anti-swarm to where it's going to do really well against swarmers. Okay? But it's still potent enough to go trade insanely well against a rally, even if you're just trading even with the rally. Because you got to understand, when you're getting swarmed, okay, when this stuff right here starts to happen and you start getting pummeled and swarmed, all right, you're going to be in a situation to where all those debuffs of the swarmers get put on the garrison, and your rally is naturally going to trade better because number one, you're dropping the troops of the garrison, and number two, you're putting all the debuffs on the garrison and you're buffing the rally. And so if you can just trade even or close, even if you lose, as long as you are punishing the swarmers, you're doing good. All right. And this homeboy is the only dude that's doing it right here. The People's Attila, baby. This is the one I've run for years now. All right. And I've got crazy good stuff. But if you are a cavalry main and you're a cavalry player, and let's say you've got a really good Delta set, right? You're cooking with your Delta set. You eventually need to get an arch set. I'm just telling you. Attila with arch and the arch buffs and the arch boosts and the bonuses, it is so good to put with David. And if you are in any kind of competitive KVK, you're going to get swarmed and they're not going to want to swarm that. And if they do swarm it, it's going to cost them. And that's what won us the KVK. Guys, we're winning this KVK. We have no business winning this KVK. 2359 was so strong, and we got him right here in this little area. We had blocks set up over here. Thanks, Crix and Ivy, for setting up the territory blocks. And we had a little hive right here, and they couldn't penetrate it. They were griefing themselves, trying to swarm it down, and they could swarm it down. They were so overpowered. Like, they would just completely crush us in the field, overpowered. But from that standpoint, they were in a situation where they had to swarm rallies. And when they did, we would punish them. We would absolutely punish them. And so here are my garrisons that I've got here, and I actually do pretty well on some of these. Let's see, you could get AoE value. I'm actually trading even with the with the rally, CPO Emilianus and Evar. That thing is so hard to beat. Here's another one that I think I trade negative. Yeah, I go almost 2-1 negative. 9.3 million power to 5.4, but they're swarming it, and it doesn't matter. Look at this. I'm taking 2.7 million deads. We send more to the hospital. They take 2.7 million deads, and that's like all T5. Now, granted, there's a lot of T5 in here, but there's also a lot of farms. Well, they're not swarming with farms, so those are all T5. Okay? And so from that standpoint, you're winning. If you're trying to drain the enemy of troops, you're winning this. That's a win. Because now there's going to be some T4s in it, but it's a ton of T5s that they've got to fill at they have to fill at the garrison. And then you're getting AoE deads. These are T5 deads, T5 deads, T5 deads, T5 deads. Now look at the swarm, and we'll get into this in a few. This is what the swarms do. So I'm telling you guys this. Look at this swarm march. Sun Tzu Prime, by the way, is incredible at swarming. Look at the other swarm march he does. Gang Gang. Gang Gang is wild with his healing. All right, because when he heals a ton, those marches cannot be sev wounds. And so even when he has 0 remaining, look at this, 0 remaining. So I'll get into some of those swarm marches later. But now I start cooking some of his other marches, okay? Look at our boy here. Look at that. He's trading almost 4-1. Just insane what these swarm marches will do. Look at this one. I mean, we are getting pummeled by the swarm, but with the AoE and the fact that we're going to get some back on some of these swarms, like this one, get some back there. Okay, that one lost. We got an AoE there, AoE value there, AoE value there. Let's see, we got big AoE value there. You basically what you're trying to get done. We got swarm value there because now we're starting to trade better on the swarms, better on the swarms. Look at that. Okay, don't swarm with Huo Joan. Do not do that. Now we start cooking the swarms, okay? And so at the end, you have to look at this stuff to understand and figure it out. You have to look at this stuff to understand what these troops mean, who's losing T4s compared to T5s, and what you're doing to the enemy. Because if you get them in a war of attrition, they're going to run out of troops. That's the way it is. And Attila David was the absolute hero of this KVK. The only way we won, and the only way 3308 won, guys, 3308 was getting pushed back by 365 down here. All the way here. They were building in purple this way, and 365 was over here, and they were pushing them. And we had to tell the 3308 guys, go to Attila David with Hope and Lion and the biggest players in Rock. Just stuff it, and you'll crush them. And they started doing it, and they did. They crushed it. So the takeaway with the garrisons, guys, you can't use Gorgo. You can't use infantry and archers with real good effectiveness against heavy swarms. You just can't do it. It's going to get pummeled. The only thing you can use right now, we're getting ready to get new archer garrison soon. But I'm just telling you, the new archer garrison, my money is on the fact that it's going to be a high damage garrison with skill damage. It's not going to be something that you can go run that's going to be real prickly. They just put out Wedge 2.0. Why would they they just gave us this. Why would they not use this on a new garrison? And so if that's the case, then the archers are still going to get pummeled by the rally. Okay. And so from there, we're in a weird spot with the garrisons. Now let's talk about it on the rally side. I've got my 5, or on the swarming side, I've got my 5 swarming marches. Okay. This is it. I run Chen with Ash, okay? I run Sun Tzu Prime with CPO Emilianus. And the reason why I do it this way is because I don't want to change my lineup. Like, I use these same commanders on my field lineup, and I just change the commander behind them, the secondary. I run Luce with Tariq. I know that sounds weird, but it's really freaking good. I even ran Herman with Tommy. Why not? And then Nevsky with Belly. And these are the marches you want to run on the swarm. Now, what else I would run on the swarm is my boy Gang Gang. Where's that at? It's down here. Where's Gang Gang? Here he is. I would run Gang Gang with Achilles. Insane. Gang Gang's got the weird healing factor, okay, with the Starlight healing, to where you don't take that many days. You can trade amazing against swarms. And then you go put the fat man behind this dude, like Subutai. That's like the best swarm march in the game right now. Like Subutai behind Gang Gang, like this is it. Like good luck trying to defend against that. You're going to trade insane. Insane. That's how crazy it is. And so that is the swarm meta. Okay, and I'll show you the reports and some of the different things that I did. Let me pull up Cuba's mic, okay, his report manager, and these are all the swarm marches I used, and look how green it is. Holy jeez. These are against nothing but garrisons. Like over here, if you click the primary, these are against Attila, it's against Gorgo, and it's against CY. Okay, those are the commanders I am running these against. Look how well my Sun Tzu CPO Emilianus does. 3-1, 2-1 on the KP ratio, 3-1 on the kills. What? Attila with Achilles, loved it. I ran it in the field. Just go ahead and throw it on a garrison and go swarm it. All right, Luce with Tariq. Look what this thing's doing. 2-1 against a flag. Now a flag's got a 2 million cap. So you're doing tons of damage. And if you're running a 430K, 440K march, you're doing a ton of damage. There's Gang Achilles, amazing. Gang Super Tie, amazing. Okay, then you got Herman down here running with Tommy. It did amazing. And then I've got my Chin with Ash. Now, I think I ran Chin with Ash in the field a little bit, but it still trades good. And then my Herman with Ash, I even ran that. And so those were the swarm marches I used. Like, guys, you can use all different kinds. I'm not going to micro and tell you what the best swarm marches are. I'm just going to tell you what I use for ease of use. I've got all my gear on Sun Tzu, okay? I got all my gear on Attila. I got all my gear on Luce. I got all my gear on Gang. I got my second archer gear on a Herman. I got my main archer gear on Chin. And I just didn't want to change over the gear. I just changed who I was running. And that's the kind of results that we got. It was just crazy. And so think about this when you're putting all this together, okay? So with that, now we're going to talk about what marches to use, because you can go efficiency or you can go ease of use, okay? There's a couple different ways you can do that, and here's what I've got, all right? This is my swarming marches for April 2026. I'm going to break it up into the troop type so you guys get a good understanding here. First and foremost, we're going to talk about the rally pairs. The rally pairs are going to be the best. All right, that's CPO Emilianus with Ivar, that's Shapur with Ash, that's Attila with Subutai. You go try to garrison a CY and you're tanking it with the rally, and then you go put a maxed out Attila Subutai on a swarm, it's going to trade 3-1 against CY. Just insane what that thing can do. So obviously your rally marches are going to do exceptionally well to swarm. I don't like running all these because I don't like shifting my gear around like that. I just rather run easy stuff. And for infantry, it's easy. You've got BQ Tariq. You've also got Luce and Tariq. If you still run Wedge for infantry and skill damage, you can run Ragnar with Tariq. Tariq's awesome, by the way. You guys forget how good he is. He is like incredible as a skill damage on the garrison march, even as that's why he's so good at rallies for so long. Then you can run Sun Tzu with Ivar, oh my gosh, or do what I did. Run Sun Tzu with CPO Emilianus. You're going to trade 2-1. You're going to crush it. Like, that's how it works in the swarming game. All right? It's almost like, unless it's in Attila, you're just going to crush everything. Okay? And so from there, the archer's pretty simple. Herman Boudica, if you want to roll up the stacks and the debuffs. Herman Tommy, that's for stacks. Boudica's for the debuffs. And so you've got those two options there. You can also run Herman with Ash. You could run, Herman with Shapur. And then you could also run Chin with Shapur, Zuge with Ash, or you can run Chin with Ash, Zuge with Shapur. You do it however you want. I just like to keep it easy. I like to keep it keep it simple, stupid. KISS. That's what I like to do. And so from that standpoint, I love running Sun Tzu, just put CPO Emilianus behind him. I love running BQ, just put Tariq behind him. I love running Chin, just go put Shapur behind him. I love running Zuge or Herman, just go put Ash behind him. Put Boudica behind him. Put our girl Tommy behind him. And that's how you do it. Calves are known to be the best swarming marches. But now with Sun Tzu and CPO Emilianus, I don't know if that's the case. But on the wedge side of things, if you still want to run Huo with Belly, that's still okay for the swarm. Nevsky Belly is fantastic for the swarm. You got to remember, Belly's got a 12% all damage taken debuff he puts on the target. So everybody benefits. That's why Belly is so good on the swarms. Then from there, You got your gang with Achilles, and then this is the mother of all swarming marches. Gang with Subutai. I didn't run it enough with my reports, and it would have been better, but this one is amazing. This one is really, really good. This one's amazing. These are really good, and then this one's just incredible. That's what you're looking at for swarming marches. I'm not really ranking them and telling you what's better than others, but based on the troop type, you don't have to get too technical on the swarm marches. You don't have to be like trying to microwave. Dude, you're in the field, you're going back and forth, you're fighting like crazy, and you just got to get your swarm marches out there. Go from your blue to your red 1 through 5. Throw them out there and put your best march on there. If you can't get you don't want to take too many deads and get all the marches killed, you can just put your best march on there. So that's kind of the swarm meta, because guys, I'm just telling you, this thing here, it's not going anywhere. You're going to get cooked. You're going to absolutely get cooked. Okay. And so from there, guys, happy hunting. Go have fun swarming rallies or swarming garrisons down. Use your rally to tank. Dude, 3308, they were running rallies with Pakal and Martel. Just to tank the garrison. And then they were using Hope and Lion and Velociraptor and all those guys to swarm like crazy because they have super potent marches like I do, right? And this is what I would do to them when I was swarming them. My swarms are just incredible. My swarms were trading better than my field marches. Like, what is that? Anyways, if you guys are getting any value out of this, be sure to throw that like up here. And again, if you want to enter that $10 Flux giveaway that we're going to do, all you got to do is comment down below. I'll give another $10 Flux for the winner of the comment in this video. And we'll have more videos over the weekend. Wanted to put this content out about the swarms. The only garrison to use against it is an Attila David. We found that out. And you can use so many different options to swarm things down. The swarming meta, and what I wanted to say is that the swarming meta has never been more powerful. It is so powerful. So with that, we hope you guys have a great day, broskies.